Hey guys, so I had an overwhelming request for a tutorial of the makeup that I had on in my January 2012 favorites video. I haven't done a tutorial in a really long time, so this was the perfect excuse to do one. I just haven't had any good ideas of tutorial. I really do enjoy doing them, so I'm glad that this was so highly requested. I don't know what it was about the makeup that I had on in that video that had such a positive response and made you guys want to see it done, because I did have it all like listed in the description box. Makeup Forever HD foundation, which I'm wearing, I think had a lot to do with it. It really, I just love what it does to my skin. I use some colored liner, which is also something that I don't typically do. Whatever it was, thank you guys, because you really made my day reading your comments. It just made me feel really good, so I really appreciate all your positive comments and support, like always, and I'm so glad that I had so many requests to do this, because it was super easy to recreate. So if you guys want to see how I did that look, then just keep watching. Alright, first step, you want to put a base down. I'm still using and loving the Eye Base by P2 that one of my subscribers sent to me months ago. I cannot even believe how long this has lasted me. It's insane. So whatever base you prefer. And I go all the way up to the brow bone because that's where we're putting color. And then I always take some kind of neutrally toned skin color. For me, it's Painterly Paint Pot from MAC, and I love to put this down just to kind of even everything and neutralize everything. And again, I take that right on up to the brow bone. Cancels out any veining that you have, any discoloration, things like that. There. Okay. And just out of habit, one thing that I always do is take Max Brulee eyeshadow, which is just another skin tone color. I don't know, I just feel like this step of Painterly and then this just really neutralizes everything and gives you a complete blank canvas to start working on. And I just pick up that with a big flat fat shader brush. This one is the Sigma E50. And again, I just go all the way up to the brow bone. And I also feel like this sets the base and prevents all the creasing that could happen. Okay, so now we are ready to go. I even take that into the inner corner. Alright, as in that video, the first color that I will be using is Glamour Check by MAC, which was limited edition, but Antiqued is pretty much an exact dupe. So it's this color here. It's almost like a reddish brown plum with some really pretty gold shimmer. I'm using a Sigma E25, and I load up my brush pretty well on this. It's pretty dark. And I just use this all over the lid. I don't go all the way into the inner corner, but I will go into the crease. And you could see the color it puts down, and then as you blend it out up, it gets you can make it a little bit lighter. So, like I said, I'll pull the crease all the way in, but I leave the lid a little bit bare there, because that's where I'm going to put my highlight. I'm going to get a little bit more. You really could make this as dark as you would like. Take this all the way into the crease, and once you have the desired darkness that you have, then you start blending. So now I'll turn my brush to be a little bit more flat, and that's when I blend kind of like around the edges and the inner corner. Make sure it's like a nice shape around your eye. Fill in a little bit right here. And this is really the only color that I used on my eye. It's a pretty diverse color. It's pretty dimensional. Like I said, it has those gold flecks and then some brown and burgundy, even reddish undertone. So it's a really pretty color to just use on its own. Alright, so once that's all blended, now we're going to take Wedge, which is a pretty neutrally matte brown, and this is my Laura Mercier ponytail brush, and I kind of go right on top. I kind of use this as I would soft brown, right on top of the edges to blend it even more, and this also helps transition the color from really dark to a highlight without looking so drastic. So I think this is one main difference that a lot of people notice in my videos. I usually don't take color up that far. I was kind of just playing around that day, and I don't know, I liked the effect that it gave my eye. It opened it up a little bit, and so I just kind of went with it. And lastly is my very favorite highlight. This is Floof from MAC, and it's a really pretty like pinky champagne. Oh, it's so pretty. And for that I just took my MAC 239 and right underneath the highest point of your brow, right where like the arch is, and kind of blend that out down here, and then also on the inner corner. So that's why we left this little space right here. We're just going to fill that in with the highlight color and kind of pull it up into the crease to join the glamour check. And I do several layers of this color, and I find that it just really makes your eyes pop, and it also will stay put throughout the day. And then of course a little bit on the lower lash line. I love this highlight, and I just find that it's one of those colors that looks good even like later on at night. Like, it doesn't fade. It really holds its pigmentation. Okay, and that is it as far as eyeshadow. I'm going to blend this right here a little bit more. Now we're going to take our liner, and I think this was probably the thing that most people noticed, was I use green liners, which typically I only use black or brown. What I did on top was I used a matte liner. This is PowerPoint liner by MAC in Tealo or Taleo. I think it's Tealo. It's like a dark hunter forest green. And I used this on top, and then I used a shimmery one on the bottom, which is the color Mystery. I think I got this in a limited edition collection. This is a Kohl Power pencil, and it's kind of hard to tell, but it's like a shimmery green. And I think that's what made such a dramatic difference in my eye. And this is something I do quite often. And green looks really nice with brown eyes. Green and purple liners. If you have brown eyes, even blue looks really good. So this is something I do with all different color liners. If I'm doing a neutral eye and I just kind of want more of like a pop, I'll pull out my color liners. So another nice combination that I use often, and like I said, you could do this with any color that matches your skin tone or that matches your eye color. Another, if you wanted to do a blue combination, my favorite combination is Prussian by MAC, which is my matte color, and then Fly by Blue, which is my shimmer. I think Fly by Blue was from a limited edition collection, but they release these colors a lot. Another green that I like to use is Undercurrent, which is a pretty emerald green. And then for purple, which is another thing I do a lot if I want to substitute black, my two purples, my matte one is Permaplum, and then my Pearl Glide is Rave. So my matte and my sparkly. So I do the matte on top, and that's this one, and then my sparkly one, Rave, would go underneath. So that's just something you can do to kind of change it up and not be so blah with black all the time. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to stick to what I did exactly in that video. I'm going to take Tealo on top, and I did a very thin line right on my lash line, all the way into the inner corner. And I just kind of used this as a definer. I didn't want it to be a heavy line, and I didn't really want it to look necessarily like I had on green liner. I just really wanted that definition that black liner usually gives me. And I didn't even really wing it out. So that's really it. And from far away, it doesn't really even look green. And then I'll take Mystery on the bottom. And here I did my lash line, and then I also lined my waterline with this, which is something else different that I did. I typically don't line my waterline, especially never with black, because it just kind of closes my eye. But the green wasn't so stark. And you always want to make sure you join the top so it doesn't look like it just came from nowhere. So that's it as far as shadow and liner. Now I'll just apply my mascara with Benefit's They're Real, which is pretty much on its way out. It's almost done. I could probably get like 2 more uses out of it before it needs to go in the trash. Okay, now I will do the rest of my face. In that video, excuse me, I used the Makeup Forever HD I feel like I look like Casper the Ghost on camera. Holy pale skin. And thanks to a sweet subscriber in the comment section reminding me that this was color 120, if anybody's curious. And as you can just see, it's kind of liquidy. But I really wanted to show you guys how I apply this and just how it applies in general, because I get a lot of questions about it. So because it's a sample, I just dip my finger in and kind of just dab along my face. I usually put the most right here because that's where I have my redness. Same on the other side. I will say that this spreads out really nicely. A little goes a long way. Around my mouth, nose. I really don't do much on my forehead because I don't really have any discoloration or anything on my forehead. I just do little dots, if you can even see that, just so that it all looks blended and together. And I really do tend to do my foundation after my eyes, just because I kind of like how after you do your foundation, it just ties everything together and makes your eyes pop even more. And also because that way if there's fallout, you don't have to worry about going back over it. And I'm just covering up a little spots that I have. Okay, and then I take my Sigma F90 flat top kabuki brush and I just stipple this and just even it out on my skin so that it's all even before I worry about blending. And then once I feel like it's covered pretty well, I'll blend. Can really sharpen up those corners of your eye. And you could just see how nicely that just evened out my skin tone, and again, like I said, makes my eyes really just pop. And that's pretty much it. Just blend it really well. We'll make sure it's even and you don't have any streaks anywhere. You guys know how to apply foundation. Not learning anything new here. Okay, so my foundation's on. I've been skipping the concealer lately because I don't really have any darkness under my eyes and don't really need it. And thankfully the couple little spots that I have, the foundation covers it right up. So like I said, I don't really need concealer. Just for the sake of using up my products, I've been using my MAC Studio Fix powder, and this is in the color NW30. I normally wouldn't use such a heavy foundation because like this is a powder I could use all on its own for coverage. But I'm just trying to use it up. I really probably would just set this with like a translucent powder because you really don't need the coverage that the HD foundation gives you is really full coverage, so you really don't need such heavy coverage. But I do put this on just sparingly. I don't pack it on. I just do this to set it. And I just pat it like this. Press it into your skin. And this brush is the F20 if anybody is curious. Another thing I've been doing different is I've been skipping the bronzer. I don't know why, I just haven't really been into bronzer lately. So that's it for my complexion wise. And then the blush that I had on that video is the On a Mission blush from MAC. It's a gorgeous plummy purpley pink mauve blush with very, very subtle shimmer that barely even comes up on your cheeks. Studio Gear number 11 angled brush for this. And I just do the fake smile and pull it up on my cheekbones. And then since I don't really use bronzer, I'll just go back and like kind of fill in my face with some color just to give my face the dimension. And I say this every time, it's really redundant, but my blush, I could probably go even heavier. It's not as vibrant as it's coming up in camera, but for the sake of not looking like a clown on camera, I'll just let it go there. Just make sure it's really blended, and make sure you bring it all the way up into your hairline and blend it. I really wish my camera was better quality in the sense that it would pick up exactly actually what I see in real life. Okay, and then the highlighter that I used in that video was the Blonde MSF from MAC. which looks like this. And I use my Sigma F05 brush, and I just mix all the colors together and do tops of the cheekbones to kind of like middle of your eye. And I also take this, like, it's weird, I don't know, I've been doing this, like, right on top of my brow bone. And I feel like that highlights the top and bottom, and then you'll see when I blend it out, it looks really pretty. And then whatever's left, just down your nose. And then I'm going to take that big paddle brush again and just blend everything. Blend the highlighter into the blush, down my nose. I think that's one other thing too that I've been doing different is I spend a lot more time blending. Like, I normally would just put blush on and go, and now I'm kind of taking the time to blend my highlighter into my blush instead of just applying my highlighter and being done. And that is it. I'm just going to skip the lip stuff and just keep my Tender tone on. If anybody's curious, the Tender tone I'm wearing is Tender Baby from MAC, of course. Just looks like this, just a little pink. It's pretty sheer for the most part. And a final thing that I have also been doing is taking a setting spray. I used up all my Fix Plus, so I'm just using the Skindinavia No More Shine matte hold on oily skin. I don't have oily skin, but I like that it does give me that hold throughout the day. It's a really light mist. And I kind of just let that air dry. Look at this piece of hair. That's annoying. Alright, now that's all set and dry, I'm going to take my MAC Set Powder, which has no SPF, which is a great setting powder. And it's great for photography. That same paddle brush that I've been using this whole time, and I just sweep this over everything, including my eyeshadow. And my eyebrows. And literally, your makeup will be as perfect looking as it does now when you go to take it off tonight. No joke. So that is the finished product. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you'll experiment with some of your colored liners. What made me start to do it was my eyeliner drawer was getting out of control, and like I said, I normally just wear black or brown liner, and I was neglecting all my really pretty colored ones. And I'm not someone that would normally wear like funky color liners, but it's a nice way to kind of incorporate your colors without overdoing it and looking like, hey, I have crazy retro green eyeliner on. So hopefully this will inspire you to, this is so annoying, inspire you to dig through your eyeliner drawer and put some colored liners to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for requesting it. If you have any other tutorial requests, like on specific palettes or colors or brands, please leave them in the comments below, because I do really enjoy doing tutorials, but I feel like there's so many other people on YouTube that are so much better at these than me, and I don't know. Tutorials like aren't my thing. I love doing them. I obviously love applying makeup, but I just feel like you could learn from so many other people. But if you do have specific requests, I would be more than happy to do them. I will start to do some more Get Ready With Me videos. I know you guys really like those. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!